Hello, welcome to Skyway Bound presents Fly Tampa Fly. We are call us your one-stop shop for all things flying in the Greater Tampa Bay area, which is in Florida for those of you who aren't from here. And we're really trying to promote small aviation business growth within our area and within our region. So we started the show, Fly Tampa Fly. You can join our community, like, subscribe, whatever. Shoot us an email and just become part of our community as we look to make this place the #1 producer of aviation industry workers in the world. I know it's big dreams, but it is what it is. All right, let's start with our question of the day. While on final approach to a runway equipped with a standard 2-bar VASI light, the lights appear as shown in this illustration on your screen. Illustration D. This means that the aircraft is A, above the glide path, B, below the glide path, or C, on the glide path. And of course there's the Airman Certification Standard Code is on the slide as well if you're looking to figure out where to go for the references. All right, let's move on. Let's start off with the FAA public charter rules. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Air traffic controller Drought calls for a new approach to training. So I wanted to highlight this because the world of aviation is still in demand. And it's not just pilots. People think it's just pilots. When I talk to young folks, I try to stress that if you don't want to be a pilot, there's plenty of other jobs. There's air traffic controllers. We have lawyers. We have people in culinary services. We have agents. We got all sorts of administrative personnel. You have accountants. It's a huge industry. So there's an opportunity if you're looking. But in this case, air navigation service providers around the world still struggle to recruit, train, and retain air traffic controllers at staffing levels, and they still haven't recovered from COVID era layoffs. They're looking for air traffic controllers. If you're interested in being somebody that you coordinate and you partially tell the pilot in command is the ultimate authority as to how the operation of the aircraft. But you as air traffic control play a huge role in that. If you're interested, they're looking for people, and you can make a lot of money. You can make almost 6 figures starting out of the gate. It's a lot of training. You have to maintain an FAA level medical, but you can do, if you don't want to be an actual pilot and you want to make good money, they're looking. So keep that in mind. Consider air traffic control. And like I said, there's plenty of other jobs within the aviation community. Boeing put out their study. So one of the original Boeing studies talked about this whole pilot shortage that has kind of led us down this route. And they've apparently updated their study to say that they still need pilots. It makes sense to me because you're starting to see these electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that are starting to come online and starting to gain more investment and become more prevalent. And there's going to be more opportunity if you're looking to be a pilot. If not, like I said, it's a huge industry. Let's see what we got here in our article. The Boeing forecast, which focuses on projected employment trends over the next 20 years, said air carriers will need to hire almost 2.4 million professionals to keep up with the industry expected growth. Commercial aviation will need 674,000 new pilots through 2043. That is a 3.9% increase compared with totals in last year's forecast. The point being is they still need people, and if you're looking to get into the world of aviation and you're looking to get paid, the fact that they need people and they're still hurting for people, that's a great opportunity for you. And if you're looking to start a small business in the world of aviation, well, clearly there's a need for whatever you're going to provide. That goes beyond being a pilot. But the aviation industry is hurting for people that want to get into the world of aviation. So a lot of opportunities there. All right, I found an article here about the electric vertical takeoff and landing industry. I will put this in the kind of in the notes, but it goes through a bunch of different acronyms. There's, it's an industry, so there's a bunch of different acronyms that will give you a better understanding of what's happening in this industry. For example, you have battery electric vehicles, vertical and takeoff vehicles. You have hybrid electric vehicles. It's just like the car industry. I mean, you have gas cars, you have electric cars, you have hybrid cars. It's the same thing. The same thing is happening in the world of aviation, and they have a bunch of acronyms, and I just put that there. And I'll put a link in the description for those of you who are interested into getting into that world and doing more research into that world. There's a lot of avenues and directions that you could potentially take whatever your small business idea. You could take your business in whatever direction. There's a lot of opportunity in that. I included it in this week's brief because it's an opportunity, and that's what we're here to do, is kind of guide you to potential opportunities within the world of aviation. So look in the description for a link. The vertical takeoff industry, let's see, what do we call this? Advanced air mobility industry is NASA. Here we go. NASA is preparing to put human test subjects in the seat of an air taxi virtual reality flight simulator. Test rides on the 6-axis simulator are meant to simulate the flight of electrical vertical takeoff and landing aircraft in order to help NASA study turbulence on planned air taxi services within New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and elsewhere in the United States. I put this up there for a couple of reasons. One, to show the importance of, I'm huge on using flight simulators to increase your exposure to the world of aviation and aviation theory. And if you're broke, like a lot of people, but you're interested in the world of aviation, you can go by Microsoft Flight Simulator X-Plane and start exposing yourself to the world of aviation, the basic procedures, the basic aerodynamics. It's just a way to get your head in the game. And NASA's doing it. The airlines do it. The military do it. You don't even see an aircraft until you've gone through their ground school and their simulator events. So I'm a huge fan of simulators, but what my point here is that, one, there's a lot of opportunity in the world with regards to any government organization. If you're looking to become like a government contractor, there's potential here. NASA does government contracts with smaller contractors, and so does the rest of the government, the military, and then even civilian companies have their ways of contracting with smaller providers, if you will. The point being is there's an opportunity, and if you're into the world of simulation, this is just another example of simulation being used to prepare people to enter the real world, the practical and flight environment. And I just really loved that article and wanted to highlight that. So enjoy. Vertical takeoff and landing, electric vertical takeoff and landing stocks. Here's some stocks for you. I kind of do this just more as we evolve this video podcast. Those of you who are listening, I'm not going to go through them. You can go to Yahoo Finance and find these stocks. And it's just an example of the investment that's slowly increasing within the world of vertical takeoff and landing. Remember, it's a form of transportation that has the opportunity to let's call it reduce the friction in your life, if you will. The friction of you getting from point A to point B. Imagine being able to vertically take off and just, go over traffic in a three-dimensional environment and just avoid. If there's a traffic jam, either go above, to the side, or under, around. Either way, it's just going to bring a lot of flexibility to our lives, in my mind, in my opinion. And I suspect a lot of people agree with me, which is why there's interest and there's growing investment in the world of electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. So just keep your eye on it if you're somebody that's looking to get into the world of investment. Some of these are what are considered, actually I think all of these on the screen are probably considered penny stocks. So, people would say stay away from them. However, keep an eye on them, because these companies might not survive, but I guarantee you the world of vertical takeoff and landing is not going anywhere ever. It's happening. It's already happening. People are throwing money at it, so it's going to happen. You can't stop the market forces. All right, I found this article interesting. It's about some guys who saw an opportunity. Hangar shortages inspires 2 general aviation pilots to launch a development project. They call it the Planecave. I threw this out there just to inspire those of you who, well, one, you don't have to be a pilot to become a developer of the land to provide hangars to pilots. And us in the Greater Tampa Bay area, there are no hangars available here. So if there's anybody that has a great idea of some sort of development, well, just know, reach out to these guys. I'll put the link to the article in the description. Excuse me. I'll put the link to the article in the description if you want to, reach out to these guys, see what kind of advice. These guys are on the West Coast, the Northwest. It looks like Oregon. They might be willing to give you some sort of advice about how to maybe try to do something similar to what they're trying to do on the West Coast. It's another opportunity, so I wanted to highlight that and take it for what it's worth. All right, we talked about this story a while ago. The Florida General Aviation license plate. A group of guys got together and submitted to the political powers within the state to create a Florida license plate that shows and supports aviation scholarships in the world of general aviation. A bill was approved in Florida. A bill approving a general aviation license plate was signed by the Florida governor on June 27th. So now the dedicated Florida aviators who design the plate will begin taking the money that's made from that plate to support aviation-based scholarships. And yeah, that's it. If you live in the state of Florida and you want a general aviation looking license plate, it's now available. So just a little feel-good story from the state of Florida. All right, we're coming to the end here. We got some aviation events, and I'll let you guys just read those on the screens. Those of you guys who are listening on the podcast, I won't read these, but I'm trying to think. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch the podcast, and then you'll see the list of events. There's a bunch of aviation events. They're great events. I put these on here as a way to encourage you guys to get out there and network. That's how you're going to get to know the industry. You're going to get to know the players in the industry and let them get to know you, and just kind of see what kind of potential future magic can happen. But ultimately, if you're looking to start a business, you're going to you got to network somehow. So this is a great way to do it, is these aviation events. I wanted to highlight kind of this next celebration, National Aviation Day. So there's August 19th is National Aviation Day, which is also Wilbur Wright's birthday, of the Wright brothers. Actually, this says, you know what, Orville Wright. I'm sorry, I put the wrong name on there. I put Wilbur, but it's actually Orville according to the article. I don't know why Wilbur was in my head. August 19th was Orville Wright's birthday. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt created National Aviation Day, deciding for the first time in 1939 that the nation should celebrate the growth and advancements being made in aviation. So it's Orville. Misprint on the slide, forgive me. Anyway, either way, it's a Wright brother, and we're celebrating National Aviation Day on his birthday. So get out there and celebrate. Go look at an aircraft at Tampa International. You can go out there, and I think you can. They have a place where you can take pictures of aircraft. And it's great great opportunity to celebrate national aviation. All right, various scholarships. We always put this slide up there. It's the same slide. You can go to the FAA website for scholarship opportunities. We'll put the link in the description as well. And there, even if you're an adult, sometimes they have scholarships for adults too. So don't think it's just for the kids. Most of them are, but there are scholarships out there for adults as well. More scholarship opportunities. These are specific opportunities that we found. You know, some of them are on the FAA website, some of them are not, and we kind of had to dig for them. If you know of any scholarships, please email us and we'll add them to this spreadsheet. And the Tampa Bay Aviation Association, they are opening up applications for the Girls Achieving Leadership in Aviation Scholarship. It is dedicated to supporting young women who are passionate about pursuing careers in the aviation industry. So this has some specifics. We'll put the link in the description for those who might meet the criteria to apply for the scholarship, and just give it a shot. You never know. All they can do is, well, they're probably not going to say no. They're not going to say anything. All they can do is ignore you. But I encourage you to try for that scholarship. All right, that's we're looking good. We're a little bit ahead of time today, which is where we're trying to get back to staying on time with this little thing. Probably around the 20-minute segment, 20 minutes. We're right at 18, so I need to get moving. All right, question of the day. Let's complete the question of the day. While on final approach to a runway equipped with a standard 2-bar VASI, the lights appear as shown, illustration D, on the screen. If you're listening, it's 2 red over 2 red. So those of you who are pilots know what that means. This means that the aircraft is A, above the glide path, B, below the glide path, or C, on the glide path. Remember, those of you who are listening, it's 2 red over red. If you're a pilot, you know what that means. Drum roll, please. Oh, I gotta do it here too. Boom! B, below the glide path. Absolutely. And there's more to the VASI, but we'll just leave it there for today. And that's kind of going to be the end of our little brief episode today. As always, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to the team at Jetline for allowing me to hang out here. If you have any questions about your flight simulator computers or hardware, joysticks, yokes, overall setups, just give these guys a call. And they will help you out. They are also the North American distributor for what's called Virpil. And Virpil makes really high quality, like militaristic kind of joysticks and flight control software. Not flight controls. And then of course Virtual Fly. Yeah, Virpil and Virtual Fly. Totally two different companies. Virtual Fly does full-blown simulators, and they have very, very hefty flight simulators that you cannot destroy. So anyway, reach out to our friends at Jetline Systems and they can connect you with whatever equipment you need for your flight simulator needs. As always, my friends at Mind My PC, we just heard about the CrowdStrike issue, incident, drama, whatever you want to call it. Give my friends, they don't use CrowdStrike, they use SentinelOne. And yeah, you got to protect your IT infrastructure. If you don't want to be you don't want to be your own personal IT provider and you're getting sick of wearing all the hats, let a professional be your fractional IT provider, your fractional chief technology officer, or whatever you want to call it, chief information officer. Let somebody else do the work, so that frees you up to do what you do best, which is your business. And then as always, if you're looking to fly here in the Greater Tampa Bay area, Skyway Bound Aviation Services, moi, and in the future, others, we're here to serve. we want to bring aviation. We're trying to make aviation more accessible to people who are really interested. It does cost. It will always cost. There's a price. There's always a price to pay. But we're here to help you figure out how you can make your flight dreams a reality. All right? And boom. That is it. Thank you, my friends, for joining me this week. We are right at 21 minutes, so a little bit over, really trying to get it down to that 21 minutes. And I will work on my script for the podcast version for those who are only listening. Right now, this is just an informational platform, and it'll evolve. So if you guys would send us an email or drop comments on the video and how we can make it better, that would be greatly appreciated. Till next time, my friends. I'll see you. If you have any, I want to encourage you. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. If you have a dream, just go for it. Nobody's going to remember where you worked, how you worked, what you did. They're going to remember how you treated them. So do something that you love for yourself and treat people nice and reach for your dreams, because the sky is more than the limit. It's just the beginning. Get out there and make something happen, my friend.